So let's take a look at this problem here. If 7 apples cost $10.50, then what is the cost of 5 apples? So you can do this a couple different ways, and one way is by setting up a proportion. So you know that 7 apples cost $10.50. So I'm putting my apples on the top and my cost on the bottom. We know that's equal to 5 apples, putting my apples on the top, and I don't know what the cost is. Okay, so I'm putting X. Now what I can do is I can cross multiply by doing 7 times X, which is 7X, and 5 times 10.50, which is equal to 52.50. Now to solve for X, I want to isolate the variable, so that means I'm going to divide both sides by 7. So I'm going to divide this side by 7 and this side by 7. And so I'm going to do out the math here. 52.50 divided by 7. 7 goes into 52 7 times, so minus 49. 52 minus 49 is 3. Bring down the 5. I put my decimal place right there. 7 goes into 35 5 times. Okay. So minus 35, 0. Bring down the 0. 7 goes into 0 0 times. So my cost, X, is equal to $7.50. So if I want to buy 5 apples, it's going to cost me $7.50. Now this is not the only way I can solve this problem. There's another way. If I know the cost of 7 apples is $10.50, I can find the cost for 1. And the way that I do that is I take the $10.50 and I divide it by 7. So 7 goes into 10 one time. Bring the decimal up. 10 minus 7 is 3. Bring down the 5. 7 goes into 35 5 times. 35 minus 35 is 0. 7 goes into 0 0 times. So each apple, so one apple costs $1.50. All right, and I want to know the cost for 5 apples. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my $1.50 for 1 apple and multiply it by 5 to find the cost for 5 apples. So 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25, so 5 carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. I'm going to put my 2 decimal places back in. So there we go. So the cost for 5 apples is $7.50. Okay? Now the second part of this problem says if you have $25, how many apples can you buy? Well, I can solve this a couple ways. I can use my ratio of 7 apples over $10.50 is equal to how many apples over $25. Okay? And then I'm going to cross multiply. So I do $10.50 times X is equal to 7 times 25, which is 175, but let's just double check to make sure I did that correctly. So 7 times 5 is 5, carry the 3, 2 times 7 is 14, plus 3 is, I'm going to divide both sides by 10.50. One, two, 1, 2. So 1,050 goes in there once, minus 1,050. 1,050 into 7,000 is 6. So that's 6,300. And I can keep going. Okay? And what I'm going to end up getting is X is equal to 16.666 repeating, but what you realize is you can't really buy 0.66 repeating, so at the most you can really get is that you can buy 16 apples.